Hello my loves. Right, I'm using my flexi finger today and I've got these cool tips that just are they fit perfectly. They're called the Flexi Tips and they're from Glitter Planet and they're sold in bags of 500. They're really affordable and I've just literally glued straight onto that one of the Easy Tip clear stilettos. So it was really quick and easy to set this up. And then I'll just use my steel file to kind of shape it. You can use my discount code, anything Glitter Planet. It's Therapy5. Just shape it up. Now this Glacier nail that I'm doing was heavily inspired, well completely inspired, by the amazing artist called Nails by Evan on Instagram. The way she did this was just so clever. So I thought, right, I'm going to recreate this because I've done a hard gel Glacier nail or Glacier now, whatever you call it, earlier on in the year, and it was super popular, but I think this is easier. I really do think this is going to be an easier method. So hopefully, fingers crossed, you guys like it. So I'm just blending using my Canvalite file, my 180 grit, just to blend that tip, make sure it's nice. It doesn't take a lot really, but I like to do it. And then you must remove all the dust, and then we're going to turn the nail over. And we're actually going to buff the underside of the tip. How do you do that? I hear you say. Well, the easiest way is to use an e-file with a sanding band on a very low setting and just tickle it. Literally don't apply pressure, just tickle it over and rough up that surface. And then once we've done that, we absolutely need to remove all the dust. So I'll use a lint-free pad and some isopropyl alcohol. So once I've removed all that icky dust, I'm going to grab my Valentino One Step gel. This is available from Angel Crystals, and some sandwich bag because I didn't have any of the clear plastic film like cling film. Now, one thing I will say when we do this design, we're going to be adding the gel to the underside of the nail, and it's very important that you make sure that that gel does not stick and cure to the hyponychium or the skin, the tip of the finger. So you need to keep some distance there because otherwise you're going to hurt your client, hurt a person. You're going to hurt a person, don't hurt a person. So when I've added all of the product that I want to add, I'm still aware of it's like an invisible wall that's stopping me going too close to the hyponychium. And when I apply the plastic, you'll see in a moment that I create a barrier with that as well, because we don't want to hurt anyone. We don't want any reactions, anything like that. So I'll grab that plastic and I'll pop it on, rough it up between my fingers. Still love the way those crystals change colour, don't you? Oh, they're so good. It's Milo going out for his early morning walk. Right, so I'm really crumpling up that paper and then really struggling to open it back up. Style it out, sir. But once I have successfully opened up the sandwich bag, it's not paper, I'll tuck it in and I'll use my orange wood stick to tuck it behind where the gel starts, so that then forms a barrier so the gel cannot touch my client's hyponychium or my client's skin, and there is a barrier there. Does that I hope it makes sense. And then I'm just going to nudge it about to create some folds and some crackles and then cure it straight away for 60 seconds. So this has been cured and I'm going to remove it. Look at that. And when you turn it over, because you've got that tip, it's completely smooth on this side. So next I will file off the edges, the sharp edges, and also remove any sticky residue. And I do like to just buff the sharpness off of those ridges because I think they're quite pointed, some of them, and although it won't hurt anybody, if you get the underside of your nail caught on something, it's going to pull and it's going to hurt, and that's not pleasant. So we'll make sure that I give that a good brush and then a good buff. So next I'm going in with Valentino's Prettiest Pink, and it is very, very pretty. And I shall be using my size 12 Bestie brush from Nailmate and Nailmate's Crystal Clear and Monomer. And also from Glitter Planet Snowstorm. This glitter has everything in it. It's got 2 different types of star, it's got snowflakes, and it's got multi-cut iridescent pieces with blues and pinks. It's got everything, absolutely everything. So I'm going to apply a bead of Prettiest Pink. I'm not going too wet, and I'm just going to blend it down. Now, it was a bit more pigmented than I realised, so it travelled a bit far and it had really good pigment payoff. So I decided to remove some of it just so I can kind of feather that edge out a little bit more and not take away too much of the Glacier effect, or Glacier effect. I don't know. I say it as Glacier. Maybe I'm weird. I don't know. And then once that bead is in place and where I want it, I'm going to add my cuticle bead. So I'm going in with a smaller bead, and I did bleed the back of my brush. And then I'm going to tuck that bead in and just blend it into the first bead. And then we're going to add a beautiful snowflake or two. So I'm just patting this product into place as it cures, because it's still kind of like a liquid. It's starting to solidify, isn't it? But it will be tempted to flow into any crevices and gaps. So you just need to keep an eye on it and be mindful. Next, I have taken one of those beautiful snowflakes and I've popped it on. And I'm just going to use my orange wood stick and my brush to bend that snowflake into the acrylic. Now, really, probably be better curling that round the end of a thin brush so that it naturally curves. Probably be a bit easier to do it that way. Then I'm just going to add another little bit of snowflake and some beautiful stars and some little glitter pieces just to Christmas it up a little bit more. Now I'm going to bear in mind, before you cap any of this, please let it set, especially when you're working with chunkies. They take a little bit longer. Let them set into place before you go in with your clear layer. Otherwise you're going to move them and that'll be really annoying. So I'll hang on for a bit and just admire the sparkle. And then when I'm happy with it, I'll go in with my clear acrylic and I'll cap this nail. Okay, so it's dry. Doesn't it look gorgeous when it's just like this? It looks stunning. It looks frosty, but we've still got to file it. So I'm going to use, I always use my steel file to shape the free edge, take the bulk off the sides and the underneath, but I always use my Canvalite file for the cuticle because I like a curved file, and I like it for the body of the nail as well, but I just absolutely love having the steel file to shape the nails. once that's done, I'm going to give it a little buff, just because we want it to be extra smooth and clear and beautiful. It doesn't have to be completely free of any rough areas because we want the gel top coat to stick to something, but it doesn't need to have deep scratches in it. I want it perfect. And then I'm going to, again, get all that nasty dust out of the way. Make sure that tip's securely in place. Sometimes they move a little bit. It's not a problem. Don't stress, honey. Next, we're coming in with the Nailmate Super Gloss. She's so good. We're going to apply that to the nail and watch it come back to life. So pretty. I know I've got dust on my hands. Oh, I should have washed my hands, shouldn't I? All dusty. Look at that beautiful nail. Now next I cured it for 60 seconds and then I decided, which I wouldn't recommend doing, to top coat the underside of the nail because I thought it would add to the effect. But actually, I started to realise after doing it that it was taking away from the effect because I've created those folds in the gel and then I was filling them back up again. So I scooped out as much of the top coat as I could. But as it was the first time I've done this whole design, I thought, well, I'm not going to start again. I'll just show you in case you think, oh, I'll do that. So I wouldn't recommend it. You've already taken the inhibition layer off the gel that's underneath. I wouldn't recommend top coating it because you will take away from the definition. So there's one for you. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, so that's the finished nail. I'll show you a short video. I really hope you've liked it and I'll see you on my next one. Tally bye!